All right, welcome, Feisties. We have Joanne, we have Katie, I'm Kelly, and this week, Mirinda Carfrae is back with us. Welcome, Rinny.
Thanks, guys. Good to be back.
I know we said we haven't seen you since the first episode. Update us on your life. What's changed in 3 months?
Yeah, not a whole lot. I mean, summer holidays with the kids, we did some camping. Isabel did swim team for the first time, which I had no idea what that whole world was like, which was kind of eye-opening. Like it's basically every weekend for one day a weekend for like 8 weeks. But she loved it, which was cool. And I definitely am going to make her be a swimmer because I did not do swimming, which was a big mistake of my childhood. And what else? Kids are back at school. Jameson's going to be 2 in December. Isabel just turned 8 in August. Yeah, I ran the Grand Traverse. I guess that's one thing that I did, which was kind of cool, which was very cool. It's like a 40-mile run from Crested Butte to Aspen with like over 7,000 feet of elevation. It's insanely beautiful. I've never done a trail race. I've never done a race at altitude. I've never done over a marathon in a triathlon, so it seemed like a good idea. And I absolutely loved it. I had no expectations, and I trained sort of for it, but it was beautiful. And I have to say I loved it until about 5.5 hours in, or maybe like 45K, and I still had 20K to go. Then I was kind of over it. The last like 5 miles was straight like down, like the ski run into Aspen, which sucked because the quads were at that point not so happy with me. But that was cool. And now I'm looking for like what's next. I want to try and do I'd like to do another ultra, maybe just like 50K instead of like the 65K next year.
Do you coach yourself for that?
Yes. Yes,
yeah.
I did.
Do you like it?
I did. I mean, I think if I was to get more serious, I would want to coach. And I actually, at some point, would like to try and run some fast marathons. And I keep saying, like, when all the kids are in school, but I don't know that life will settle down until they're like 20. So I was like, maybe when I'm 50, I'll go and do like all the world majors. But I'm like, maybe I should just like, I don't know, get back in shape and do it now.
Just do it now.
I'm going to just get slower. Yeah. So that's where I'm at. Realizing that I need to have races on my calendar to actually train.
I was about to ask, because I know Katie's been like toying with this, like, what is my physical activity now with 2 kids post-retirement? I feel like you guys should compare notes,
Ooh,
yeah, we can.
I struggle. How are your notes?
Well, you're still really fresh off of a baby. I mean, I'm almost 2 years beyond, and even after I had Izzy, I felt like it was 18 months before I felt myself. So just give yourself grace. Don't rush into anything. But I think after maybe a year, maybe try to put something on the calendar. But know that you're not going to feel normal until like at least 18 months. At least that was my experience for all 3.
Yeah, I was telling someone, I was like, it's hard because I feel like with both my pregnancies, I was coming off of my career. And so I have fit clothes and I have pregnant clothes, but I have no in-between clothes. Yes. So it makes me feel like right now, I'm like, oh my gosh, they fit like my shorts fit like their underwear.
Yeah. I know. I had to let go of that. Like, I'm not an extra small anymore. I was an extra small forever. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'll get back to it. And I was the same, right? Like, came back from Izzy, got back to professional racing, same with Finn, got back, like was forced into shape. And then and it took a little while to like get back into shape, which is whatever. It's fine. Like your body has got hormones and everything going on. But now Jameson's almost 2 and I'm not an extra small anymore. So they asked me to do the underwear run and I'm like, no. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. I didn't do it when I was in like amazing shape. Like I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I was like, in all fairness, I don't really like the underwear run that much.
No,
it's not like my thing anyway. So.
No, exactly. But that I'm an Ironman ambassador, and it was on my like, this is something we'd like you to show up for Ironman for Nation. I'm like, I would like to not please do that, and they're like, okay, it's optional.
I'd like to show up in long underwear.
You could probably just wear a tutu and a little crop top.
Yeah,
I know.
You look fabulous, you know.
But it is it is an adjustment, right? Like your whole life, you like ate whatever you wanted. Like you were, and again, like I still kind of eat whatever I want. I refuse to not eat what I want, but I'm not what I was anymore, which is fine.
Yeah, we should compare notes then, because that's exactly how I feel. I'm like, I'm not giving anything up. I'm just not exercising as much.
Yes.
I feel like, Katie, we just need, like, this is not because of like clothes or whatever, just because you've been like, what should I do? We just got to like sign you up for something crazy, like the Grand Traverse or an Ironman. Yeah, we need to sign Katie up for an Ironman.
Well, that's why I did Grand Traverse. God, go, Katie.
Oh, I was just going to say, I have my first race that I think I'm going to do with my nephew, who is 10. And he runs, he just got his best time. He ran a 24:30 5K. And so my goal is to be able to run a 5K with him in like November 11th or 12th, like around that time. So that is my A race at this point.
Yeah. But it's not scary enough. No, it's scary, it's right? Like you're like, all right, you could like, come on, you could do that. You're fine. You're run off the couch. So that's why I signed up for the Grand Traverse.
Rinny has just taken over as Katie's coach, and like,
signed up for Salty Bears.
Stopping on.
Yeah, you're in.
Coaching call here. Rinny is like, that is not scary enough.
But it is funny because every time I run, like I ran yesterday, and at the end of my run, I'm thinking I really need a coach because like it's just so hard to get like not follow something for me.
All right.
Yeah. So I had a program every Sunday. Like I'm like, okay, this week, this is this is my plan. And then if I have it written down, I'll do it. Like if you wake up in the morning, you're like, should I do something? If it's not written down, you won't do it.
So we've solved this.
Oh, sorry.
I was just saying we've solved this. Yeah. Like Rinny's going to write Katie a plan. She's going to join Salty Bears. She's going to sign up for something scary. Yeah.
Just copy and paste.
Yeah. I'll just share what I'm doing every week. And then you can do the same.
But you know me on the days where you don't want to run. I know you've got it written down and like you obviously have the motivation to do it. But when there's days where you're just like, oh, I just want to like, I'm sleeping in, I'm not doing this. Because you don't have a coach who's telling you have to do this. Like, how do you stay self-motivated?
You need an event that's scary enough. Like that is the answer. Like I want to, well, in my goal was to like not have it suck the whole way. Like it's 8 hours. So I wanted to be able to enjoy some of it. So that was my whole motivation for this race. And I think if it's scary enough. But again, I think if you have a program, I don't know, I feel like you're probably wired the same way, Katie. Like it gets done. Like I don't care how I feel. It's going to get done. Like I'll feel better at the end of the day. I know. And obviously there's warning signs. Like if something hurts, like, or if you're legit, like got to get sick or something, then you know to pull back. But if there's no reason other than I'm a bit tired, then it gets done.
I just can't be bothered.
No, Joanne, that's not a thing. No, they're
not a thing.
The world champions on the call are not following what you're saying.
Come on, be normal. I want to hear what us normal people have to go through. Well,
I would say I need a buddy. I'm the
buddy does help.
Yeah. Well, Katie, I got up this morning in the depths of the cold, wet and wild this morning in Ireland for my final run before Kona because hashtag fit, not skinny, fit for Kona is our hashtag. So I did my last cramming session to be able to run on a Little Drive. So I ran a 6.5K in the rain and the wind and the wild weather in Ireland today. Can't wait for the heat of Hawaii.
So I just need a combination of Joanne's program and Rinny's program.
Yeah.
Kelly, what are you going to give me?
Yeah, I was like, not Kelly's program. Nope. All right. We actually, Rinny's actually joining us not to give Katie advice, believe it or not.
Stole the show.
Rinny is joining us today because we are going to preview pre-race week preview Kona. But first, we wanted to talk about the races this past weekend before we jump ahead because there was still some pretty big race. It's hard to really focus because there's just so many big races. The last World Triathlon Championship Series before the grand final in Wollongong. And Katie, so Beth Potter is lead. Like after that win, she's leading now, right? Going into Australia.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm going with you on that one.
Oh, you're going with me?
But no, it was an interesting race because it was the last one before, but it wasn't as prescribed as like the rest of the series has been. But we had one of the U.S. women who raced her first WTCS race because of that. Which was a good opportunity for her. But yeah, I think it was kind of, to me, it was interesting that not more people didn't do it, because it's actually, when it looks for like going to Wollongong, it's actually one of the easiest travel wise.
Oh, you're saying if they just went from there to Wollongong, it would make...
Yeah, like it makes sense because that's actually the best time to go between like Asia and Australia. But yeah.
So if it was a pretty small field, I'm trying to think of this. Do you think it was still like, did it play out the same way? Was it softer? Because it didn't, I mean, the top were still the top, it looked like.
The top still does top, but I think it does play to, it plays a different race dynamic, just because like it was like 10 people missing, which is a lot in like the top 20 athletes.
Sure. Like half.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still a WTCS race. It's still like a really good opportunity to race at that level. So I think it wasn't as competitive as the races we've seen, but it's still like something to be said for athletes who perform there.
And going into Wollongong now, it's kind of like Beth and Cassandra are pretty closely tied, I think. I mean, they're not tied because Beth is leading, but they're pretty close for the title. Do you have a favorite yet? I know I promised you we were going to preview after Kona Wollongong, but do you have a favorite?
Oh, that's like really putting me on the spot here. Like I think, no, I don't have a favorite. I think it's been really cool to see Beth find traction this second half of the year, when the first part of the year, like it was like, ooh, like she doesn't seem to be like racing like herself for those first races. So it's more exciting to me now, because I felt like Cassandra was, well, I mean, Cassandra kind of had her races too where she struggled. So they're both really at form going into Wollongong. So I think it'll be a good battle, because I felt like Beth's run, she wasn't running as well. And now like coming off Karlovy, like, I mean, she's outrunning people by like minutes, but they haven't, like Cassandra wasn't like head to head with her in the run portion.
Interesting. It also sounds like Wollongong is going to be pretty massive. Like Nam was telling us, it's like age group races, juniors races, elite races, every time. And I don't know. I mean, I'm sure Katie and Rinny both have a better idea of this, but it's an area that's like very into triathlon, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not from down there, but
Sure.
There's a lot of races. They have races every year down there. And I mean, a lot of great athletes have come from that area.
Yeah.
Oh, can I make a correction for us?
Okay.
Cassandra and Beth are tied.
I did wonder. I did hear that during the week. I thought.
Yeah,
they are.
So they are both first. And I feel like, so we don't have to tell
You have to do a
everyone
correction next week.
Good.
Why did I think that Beth would take the lead if she won? That was my understanding going in. Maybe that was like a miscalculation. Interesting.
Are you
They're
manifesting
straight up
again,
right.
Kelly? You know what
I
happens
know,
when we
I know.
manifest. I mean, we are the worst.
But it's always interesting to see how people, because the grand final moves so much because it's extra points. Sorry, I'm going back to the World Triathlon Championship series, where like, yeah, I mean, obviously when you're tied, it's not gonna, whoever wins is gonna,
Sure.
whoever comes out on top is gonna win. But for the other athletes that are in the rankings, like it can have a really substantial effect on their finish overall in the series.
Because is it hard to follow? Like, do you guys do the math before you go into the race?
I only did it when I had a chance of being world champion. And that was because other than that, it was like for 1 year, I remember I just had to beat Vicky and Vicky beat me, Vicky Holland. And then like for the 2019, I'd crashed in the Tokyo test event and I wanted to know what was the lowest I could finish going into it. And it was like 14th or something. So yeah, that's when I pay attention.
Okay. I picture everybody like out there doing like with their calculators, like mid race, but no.
I always felt like it was more the support crew that knew more than the athletes.
Oh, really? That makes sense.
But yeah, it's going to be a big week for everybody. Like all the para races, and I think Australia always seemed to me like, yeah, they're very much into just sport in general. And I'm surprised all the races aren't at 5 a.m. It's like rush hour.
Like rush hour.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah, it is going to be pretty big, and it'll be the week right after Kona. So it's like we keep saying, like there's like one big race after another now. It's crazy. The other one this past weekend was the Xterra World Championships, and I do want to give a shout out to Loane Duvaucent. I feel like I've said that terribly. Does anybody have a better Swiss accent? Duvaucent.
I definitely.
Joanna.
Yeah.
You.
We're looking at you.
Loane Duvaucent.
Thank you. Oof.
How I read it. Could be wrong. It's probably completely wrong.
No, I thought that's yeah. So she won her first world title though, and it was crazy mud. If you haven't seen it, like you have to go and look up the videos because the mud was so thick. Athletes were just sliding in their bikes like down the hill, like on their sides. So shout out to her and Barbara Vieira's got. Solène was second, who was the world champion a couple times, and Barbara Vieira's got third, which is impressive.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So
She just keeps reinventing herself, Barb.
wow.
She came into Ironman and she did it over the 70.3 distance, but not at the world champ level. And then she didn't really cross over to Ironman. So cool to see her still bopping around and racing really well.
Yeah. So I thought that was really cool. But then the big thing now is when this airs on Friday, when you guys are listening to it, it'll be right before Kona race week starts. I will be in Kona. Joanne will be in Kona. Rinny will be finally packing to fly out.
Yes.
So we did want to do kind of a pre-race preview deep dive. Here's my question. What are you guys most looking forward to get us started? Like, what are you most excited about for this all-women's Ironman World Championship?
Getting to the big island.
You're just like an island person. Okay.
All the new names on it. Like, and especially like the World Triathlon, like Solveig and Lisa Perter. Like, I'm excited to see them race it.
Mm.
And Julie Derron.
Julie, yeah.
Yeah, Julie Derron, yeah. And her sister, which I still think is cool.
Yeah. I'm just excited to actually get there, and the hype is so big already. I mean, we saw what the hype was like for the boys' race, and it absolutely delivered. And the hype has just been building for this race for the last couple of weeks, and I'm just excited to get there and to be part of it all, like just to absolutely embrace it all if I can.
Is Kona a course where you think like having done it before helps you a lot, or like is there like a bonus with being naive to the sensations you're going to be feeling on the course?
I think it just depends on the athlete. I think it does help, but I raced well there in my first one, and then but I think I raced better in subsequent Ironmans. So yeah, I think there is a little bit of ignorance is bliss, but again, I think it's just changed over the years. Ironman racing in general has changed over the years with technology advancements. Like it feels like with the rate that the athletes can take in carbs and the shoes, it's not as grueling maybe as it once was. I don't know.
I'm picturing them hearing Rinny say, "Oh, it's not as grueling as what I was."
I didn't know, and that sounds so like, I don't know. It was back in my day, we had to go uphill both ways. Like it totally sounds like that. But like the more you understand like how much, like it was a race of attrition, right? Like,
right.
Like people are running on fumes in the last 10K and now like the advancements of shoes and so now I'm like, I just don't know. Like someone like Taylor Knibb, I'm like very intrigued to see how Taylor races. When I put my picks together, she wasn't in my top 3, but then she totally could win the whole thing, right? Like it's so crazy to think about. Like maybe if the shoes weren't there and the nutrition wasn't there, and again, like athletes are still figuring out their nutrition, and I think Taylor, that's one big area that she's been working on, because we've seen she's had some issues with nutrition and having to use the porta potty. You never want to have to use a porta potty in Kona. Like that is not a good place to be on the Queen K in Kona. And I just wonder, if she's sorted that out. And then you think about someone like Lucy Charles-Barclay is phenomenal in Kona. Like, how do you go past her? She's coming into form, was second at, just won T100 in Spain 3 weeks out. So clearly very fit, running very well. Nobody can touch her in the swim. Does she go and do what she did 2 years ago again? I feel like probably. But then you have the new faces, as Katie mentioned, Julie Derron, Solveig, Lisa Perderer. Like, what are they going to do? What sort of spanner are they going to throw in the mix? So I don't know. To answer your question, it's such an unknown in Kona. And again, like, is it going to be windy for the first time in a decade? So a lot of, and that's what makes it so exciting, right? Like, we're not all sitting here. It's not like the Danielle era or the Natasha Badman era or the Chrissy Wellington era where it's like, oh, Chrissy's going to win or Natasha's going to win or Daniela's going to crush everyone again unless something happens to them. It's like, I actually don't know. Like Kat Matthews has been racing phenomenally well. And this year she actually is not trying to do everything. She's focused on the Ironman Pro Series only and Kona after getting second. Like, that's a very big goal or like a focus. After you get second at the World Champs, it feels like it's like everything is geared towards that. But can she race on the Big Island? Like, I don't know. She didn't finish last year. Had like some weird
or 2 years ago
thing go on. Sorry, 2 years ago, last Kona. And so she hasn't ever even run a marathon on that course. So like a lot of unknowns.
With Kat, Rinny, interesting. I was looking at her results and she's only raced 4 races this year. And last year, I'd say she had 12 or 13 races across the T100 and the Ironman races. Like, so looking at her just purely on results, you go, this girl is rested. Not rested because she's not, but going into it, her sole focus has been Kona. And we can't forget as well that she was second in St. George behind Daniela in 2022. So she just needs to put her race together on the Big Island, really.
And she's been second twice at 70.3 Worlds.
Yes, behind Taylor.
Yeah. And so I remember talking to her in Nice last year and she was like, I got to win one. Like, I'm like second's getting old. Yeah.
I remember
totally.
Finish line in, so where were we last year? We did Finland, then we did Topa. There was somewhere anyway. All she kept saying was second to Taylor again. That was her line.
Yeah.
Across the line. Congratulations. Oh, Joe, I was second to Taylor again. You know, yeah, you can't see past Kat Matthews 110%. But she's put all her eggs into the World Championship basket. There is no doubt about it.
Yeah, and I think to your point, like, she's been second. She's won the Ironman Pro Series. She's been so consistent. She's one of the best in our sport. But this kind of winning a world title, like, sort of gets you into the GOAT status, you know? Like, I mean, not just winning one, but she has to win one before she can then win another and then get into, you know, that realm. And I think she's good enough to be one of the greats ever in our sport. But she has to get over this first hurdle to win the world title. So, yeah, I mean, it is like, it's not make or break because, you know, another podium would be phenomenal. And, you know, she has a number more years, however many more years she wants to race at this top level. But it does feel very much like she is poised to put together a phenomenal performance. So, but maybe, who knows? Like, maybe Taylor has something to say. Maybe, like, Lucy is like, see you later. Like, I don't know.
And then to your point, sorry, Kelly, but then to your point again, Rinny, like, Lucy was four times on the podium in second place before she ever got to break the tape.
Yep.
You know, the resilience it took for her to come back every single year and finish in second and still be fueled by the fire of becoming a world champion.
Hate indoor training? We have great news. We have partnered with Wahoo to offer you a special deal on the Wahoo Kicker Run, a treadmill that will convert even the most diehard treadmill haters. Wahoo, the same company that revolutionized indoor cycling training, has literally broken the treadmill mold with this machine. With its special run-free mode, you can just hop on it and run. It naturally adjusts the pace as you do, just like you would outdoors. Speed up, slow down, it moves with you as you do. It can also simulate the terrain by subtly tilting the angle from side to side, so again you feel like you're really running, not locked into an unnatural pace or place. Or you can lock it in or even program workouts, so it does put you through your training paces, including both inclines and declines. And it's stunningly quiet, even when you're humming along full tilt. Even if you love training outdoors, the Kicker Run is a game changer for year-round training. No more trying to navigate ice-covered roads, awful weather, or worrying about going out in the dark. We love it, and we think you will too, so check it out. Click the link in the show notes and use the code FEISTY, all caps, one word, FEISTY, to get a free Headwind smart fan valued at $300 with the purchase of a Wahoo Kicker Run. That's code FEISTY to get a free fan when you purchase a Wahoo Kicker Run. We will drop a link in the show notes to make it a snap.
Hey Feisties, Sarah Gross here. We are so excited to be back with you here on our new, shiny, Feisty Triathlon podcast. Thank you for listening. I am so glad you're here. I want to tell you about one of the Feisty team's favorite recovery products, Prevenex's Neurify Plus. I use the chocolate flavor myself every day to support my strength training. At Feisty, we only support brands that our team uses and products that deliver results we have seen for ourselves. Prevenex's Neurify Plus is one of the best tasting plant-based and vegan shakes I've tried, and trust me, I've tried a lot. It contains balanced protein, carbs, and fat with comprehensive, high-quality micronutrients to help fuel your health. It also contains probiotics and digestive enzymes, so it's super easy to digest and doesn't give you that bloaty, gassy kind of effect that other protein products can produce. Unlike most supplement brands, Prevenex tests everything with pharmaceutical-grade precision, and they also offer a 100% money-back guarantee. So try Neurify Plus or any Prevenex product today, and you get 15% off your first order with the code FEISTYTRY at Prevenex.com. That's FEISTYTRY for 15% off at Prevenex.com. The link will be, as always, in the show notes.
Do you remember when she won her first world title? It was actually 70.3 in St. George, and it was a crazy storm, and barricades were blowing over, and like lightning was happening. And she was like, I remember her saying this right after. She was like, they better not cancel this goddamn race because I am winning this one. Like she was like in first, right? Like when you've wanted it like that for so long. But yeah, I was definitely in the catch the one to beat camp. And then like when you said Lucy came out of Spain, she looks really sharp. And now I'm like, oh, is it going to be Lucy?
She almost had a year off last year, right? And she's very good in Kona. I don't know, like, yeah. And then we haven't even mentioned Laura Philipp. Like, that's our defending world champion, right? And she's raced very well in Kona. She was third, I believe, 2 years ago. Is that correct?
Finished third and fourth as well. She's off the podium in 22, as far as I can remember.
I just the swim for her is going to be so important, just because there's like the Julie Derrons and the Solveigs, and I mean Solveig's actually not a great swimmer, but she needs to be up in the mix off the bike because there's just too many weapons.
So here's my question. Do you think, obviously we can talk some more about like all the individual players, but do you think it'll play out like you said 2 years ago, Lucy just went off the front, stayed off the front. And I mean, it's not that people let her go because she biked one of the fastest bikes. But do you think this year people are going to work a lot harder and a lot more together to catch her on the bike? Do you see it? I don't see them letting her get away as much.
Yeah, and I don't think they let her get away 2 years ago. It was just that she was ready and poised, and like she was like, there is no way, no one's taking this out of my desk grip. But everybody knows that is what happened, and they don't want that to happen again. And so, but also the addition of these ITU like athletes from a couple of years back coming into Ironman, I think that fills in some gaps as well. And so now it's harder for her to get away because there's just so many more players that will step up and fill in the gap and push hard on the bike. And, and then someone like Kat, if she has a good swim, if she's in the mix of those athletes, okay, now she has more people to sort of motivate her and work with her, obviously legally, to like limit that damage or even erase it.
Yeah, I feel like it's less isolated people on the race course. Like when I used to think of Ironman, I used to just think, oh, like real, like non-draft, but like very separate athletes racing. Whereas now it feels like there's actually quite a few athletes at the same like levels. And I mean, we saw that even with the like not just the Norwegians, but like the pack you had running in Nice. And it would be really cool. And I think it's a possibility that would be happening in Kona with the ladies, which just makes it, at least as a like spectator, like that really makes it exciting to like watch and be like, I don't know what's going to happen. Like you said, it's like there's so many different people, and to the point of like Kona is a element hard race as well, whereas like when you put that over this length of an Ironman, it's like who can outlast one another kind of becomes like how I think of it.
Yeah, well, I think I don't think we'll get a lot of women running off the bike together, just because every year in Kona there's big groups, and you've seen this in the men's race forever. But when they come back down from Harvey, everyone looks like death, and they're just blown apart. Like there's like one guy comes in, and then it's 2 minutes later another guy, and then they're all of a sudden whoever one of the big athletes is losing minutes because they're just completely blown. They haven't had enough nutrition or whatever. So I feel like just that last 40, 50K on the bike, like things start to really shake up. And that's where the packs kind of really start to blow apart. And I think it'll be similar in the women's race. It could be, obviously, of course, it could be wrong, but I think the men's race evolved before the women's race, and that's just what we've seen. But again, the men are they race differently to the women. There's a little bit more testosterone, and there's a little bit more like, hey, I'm going to go and push 800 watts for 5 minutes. And that definitely stings on the back end. So maybe if the women race a little differently and smarter or more calculated, then maybe they do come off the bike.
Tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel like 2 years ago when we had kind of the all women and we had more women, right? Having 50 or 60 women, even the women then who are like further back on the finish line, like they do change the dynamic earlier because they're in a pack or they close the gap to Lucy on the swim. I thought watching it looked a lot more like the men's races used to play out or often play out. Tell me if I'm like wrong in that, or was it just, that was because there was also a lot more penalties when it was just the women.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like penalties is a big one that comes into play as well. Like in Kona, and now they have Race Ranger as well. But like, I feel like, I don't know, we'd watch races all year round and there'd be no penalties given out, and it was kind of a draft fest everywhere. And then in Kona, all of a sudden they have now they have Race Ranger, but they had the cat eyes or the reflectors on the road that were 12 meters apart. So it was very clear who was cheating and who wasn't cheating. And the marshals are professional. Like and they're not scared to give penalties. So now, someone gets a 2 minute penalty or whatever they are now, that throws a big, and someone will get a penalty. Someone good probably won't even start the race. Like weird things happen leading into this big one. And it's like a pressure cooker. Like, always we come into race. I hope everyone's healthy and everyone gets to the start line healthy, but it's kind of weird. Like every year, one of the favorites, something happens to them and they're sick on race day, or they don't start, or they swallow, eat something bad before the race.
I always tell the Sevi Keenly once said this to me. I always think about it. There's 10 people who could win this race. 5 of them will be overcooked, injured, or won't start. 3 will have something bad happen. So you really only have to beat 2 people. And I was like, well, there you go.
But like,
it's totally true though.
Look at the favorite race, and it was completely wide open in the end. Now, just coming back to the point around the athletes with the Norwegians, they openly said that they were going to work together in the press conference. They said they were going to work together. There was a 3 best friends working together, but it was hammered down at halfway in the marathon. Like it was every man for himself. Like I don't think we're going to see that in the women's race.
No,
I don't think we don't have that same kind of connection within the athletes in countries. And now there's a lot of them that are really good friends, especially look at the girls from the UK. There's a lot of them hang out together, they train together, whatever, and there's a great camaraderie. But I couldn't see them coming out with a statement like, oh, Kat, Indy and Lucy are going to work together, for example, or Steph Clutterbuck or whatever. It's just not going to happen.
Because do you do it like for long course and Ironman? Is it far less like I'm going to use the athletes with the similar skill set as me to create an advantage to the other athletes in the field so that you're coming off the bike or like much further ahead? Like that's not really a thing in Ironman.
I think a little bit, but it is, which I kind of like. It still is mostly every woman for themselves. Like you're like, okay, well, maybe we'll be riding together and we can work together. I think that the alliances almost form. I mean, sometimes maybe there's a little bit of talk before the race, but they mostly form in the race. They're like, okay, like you and me are together. There's X amount of time to the lead. Let's like, do 10-minute turns on the front and take it in turns to like try and limit this deficit. And it kind of just happens in the moment. It might not even be someone you really know at all.
I like 10-minute turns.
10-minute
turns. Like, so different.
5-minute turns, 7 turns. Yeah, not
No, I was just thinking of in like my world triathlon brain. I'm like, I mean, it ends up that way. Nibb's taken 10-minute turns before she's taken.
Yeah.
But no,
that's funny. So we talked about Lucy and Kat. I feel like are kind of two of the heavy favorites that everyone sort of mentioned. Laura obviously is our defending champ. We haven't mentioned Chelsea yet, which is funny because she is of course the other defending champ here. And we heard from her last week kind of on the podcast. She's obviously had more of an up and down year, but like Rinny's kind of saying, you never know. And she can run for sure.
And you can't count out as someone who's put it together on that in that race. She's just always like a bit of a question mark. You're like, if Chelsea's in great form, then she could win. Yeah. But is she in great form? Is she healthy? It's kind of like we don't know. She's a little, since that win has been very up and down.
Joanne and I were both at the finish line Indies last year after Chelsea crossed in third, and I think arguably she didn't have the health to have placed third, and she just destroyed herself. Like I think both of us will say, like she had no idea where she was, like what was going. Like she was wrecked, so she will wreck herself for sure. Obviously, so will Lucy, doubt, as we have learned.
Yeah. I think that you almost like can't even compare the two races, Nice and Kona, right? Like it's just such a different everything. Like some of the big hitters didn't turn up in Nice. And so you take those out and then, put, 8,000 feet of climbing and a cool weather race in. It's just not even the same thing.
Before Nice, Laura Philipp was like, this is like, I mean, there's a lot of pros, of course, who are like, there's people who love Kona. There's a lot of people who are like, I would like it to rotate because Kona's not my course. But Laura Philipp was like, Nice, I'm going to win. Nice is my course. So I'm curious if now she feels like she wants to prove she still can win, not in Nice,
Well, if she wins in Kona, she'll be the only athlete to have won both world championships in Nice and Kona.
That's true.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And Marjolaine is the other, I guess we call podium kind of top 5 in world champs, but is the other podium contender from last year who is back. One of the youngest athletes this year.
Mm-hmm.
And she
I see Marjolaine in a solid top 10.
Yeah.
Again, she could prove me wrong, and I hope she doesn't listen to this because I have a lot of respect for her. But I mean, Nice was just the perfect storm for her, like home ground, like knew the course like the back of her hand, had the race of her life on the right day. I just think there's too many other women stronger with more experience. And that's not to say that in 5 years, Marjolaine's our champ. I just think she's not there yet.
She's also like 25.
Yeah,
she's younger.
Totally.
Yeah, for sure.
So then we move to another young athlete, Taylor. Taylor. Yeah.
She's such a question mark to me. Not in the sense of like her performance, but like she's her normal like quiet self on social media. So maybe Rinny has more like bolder background, but like I was like, wow, I feel like she hasn't raced at all, or like you just haven't seen her, which can always go both ways of like being very good or like something's wrong.
From any insight that I have, I don't think anything's wrong. I think she's targeting Kona and she's said multiple times this is the race she really wants. She was phenomenal in ITU racing. She was incredible in time trial bike. But Kona's the one she's always been looking at and wanting to win. I did a podcast with Mike Riley last week and he said, who are your picks? And I should know better to give like my top 3, but I gave my top 3 and Taylor wasn't one of them. And I guess she heard that I didn't pick her and I guess it lit a bit of a fire under her. But honestly, yeah, she's I agree, Katie, she's a big question mark. Like does she have everything in her repertoire to win a world title in Kona? Absolutely.
Definitely.
Will it happen this year? I mean, she hasn't got the Ironman track record yet, right? Like
She's only
we
done
saw her in
2.
Kona. We saw her in Kona. She raced very well, but she had some GI issues. Ended up, was it 4th?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. And then she went and raced Texas.
And was
That wasn't a very good showing. Well, I mean, I think she was shocked at how well everyone else rode. And I think the level just keeps going up. And so she didn't have the buffer that she would expect on the bike. And then in the run, it seemed like she was just like, I'm just trying to validate. Like, I don't feel great. I'm like, well, that's Ironman though. Like, you don't feel great. No one feels great, but you just suffer through the marathon and do the best you can. But she kind of was like, no, I'm not trying to win. So I don't know. Like, she hasn't fully shown her cards, I don't believe, in Ironman racing yet. So that's going to be a nice surprise when she is ready to show them.
She's got great gumption, hasn't she? I don't know if gumption is the right word, but like the courage at her age to do what she does, to do what she did in the ITU, to do what she did in the Olympics, cycling, everything. And then to just be brave enough to go, do you know what? Kona is on my bucket list. Kona's what I want. I'm going for it. And to put in the performance that she did in Kona in 2023 in a heavy hitted field, again, it was a massive field. It always is, World Championship. But I don't know if gumption's the right word. I don't want to use courage because it's not courage, but it's like,
I think the word you're looking for is feisty.
Feisty.
Where it's just like, if you could bottle the feistiness that Taylor has and you could sell it, then I think we'd be all millionaires. And Taylor, if you're listening, good luck on race day.
She is also one of the like, to your point of like, this is her dream. She is one of the people who like saw it as a kid. Her mom raced it. Like, she, you know, like there are the people who have seen this their whole lives and they
like Rudy.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
and
Rudy
her mom raced it in 23 as well. Like, from what I recall, I don't think her mom finished the race, but she raced as well in 23, you know? So like, there's that bigger connection, that connection beyond the island, beyond the sport, that bond with her mom, which not a lot of athletes will get.
No.
But I will say as well, we almost can't even compare Taylor 2 years ago, Kona, to Taylor now, right? Like, Kona was like, oh, I'm going to go do it. She was worried that it wasn't like Kona was going to go away. And she's like, this is my chance to go and race. I'm like, it's not going away. Like,
no, it was not. No one was.
I don't know.
When she said that like at the press conference, and even the Ironman staff was like looking around being like, what is she? Yeah. It's not going away. Like, what?
Don't do it this year. You haven't prepared. It's going to be a rude awakening. She's like, no, I'm hellbent. I want to do it. I never, like, I would, obviously, you know, she'd be devastated if it did go away and she had an opportunity. But that year was obviously the Olympics. Like, she had so much else going on. And so I don't know. I feel like she's been very quiet. So she's been preparing.
But she will dial things in to a degree that no other athlete will dial things in. That I am 100% sure.
Yes.
Well, like Rinny kind of mentioned earlier, like the tech and the cars, it makes me like so stressed out now. And I'm curious, Rinny, in your perspective, like how much now you have to be like calculating your carbs and like have your aerodynamic and your water bottle position, like the amount of things you have to think about now. Just instead of just like, there's so much to think about in Ironman already.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly. There's so much to think about, and just training your gut too to be able to handle 100 grams of carbohydrates per hour on the bike so that you can get off the bike and run fully fueled. And then being able to also take in a solid amount of nutrition in the first half of the marathon too. Yeah, I think, but it's exciting. I mean, we get to see faster times. We get to see athletes like, you know, going insanely fast, and it's a great time for women in sport. Just so many rock stars on the start line.
And we kind of mentioned a few of the, like, to go now to the new names. There are a bunch of debutantes. Historically, it was always like, oh, no, you can't win Kona on your first try. But now I think we've thrown that out the door. You can obviously win on your first try. We have, like, we've mentioned Julie. We've mentioned Solveig. There's also, like, Tamara is her first one, and she's going to be a solid runner. We haven't even mentioned Holly Lawrence, our another world champion. And, like, of course, she, like, didn't have a great race at Placid, which is her only Ironman to date. Or she had a fine race, but not, like, a world champion level race. But she was only 7 or 8 months postpartum then. So I am curious how much another 4 months, like, if you can win a world championship, you obviously have some, right? Like, she obviously knows how to win at that level. So,
yeah. And she has a solid swim bike combination too. So she'll be in the mix, I think. And then who knows, late on the bike, whether she's still there. Yeah, definitely is another question mark.
Right. I think that's just the whole like, I mean, she's a question mark because she's only done one, and you throw in also the like coming off a baby, and you just don't know. Like you said, it takes a little, like maybe she'll win next year. It takes 18 months to turn it around.
Yeah.
So.
What?
I think.
Oh yeah, never mind.
Katie, what you were thinking? You had a thought there.
Katie is thinking Kona could absolutely scare me. Maybe that's the goal I need for 2026.
Yeah.
Well, no, I was trying to think with Chelsea and her daughter.
It was
'cause
about
she
18
won-
months.
Yeah. Okay.
So Skylar is 4 now, isn't she? So it was 2022. So yeah.
It was 18 months postpartum when she won, which is
See, it's a sweet spot, people.
it's a sweet.
I'm telling you.
That'll be
You'll
great.
have like,
Kona next year for Josie.
Oh yeah, I'll be ready for Kona. Great.
Next year.
yeah.
Great.
There you go. It's going to
Sign
be
me
like
up.
Florida or something. Get
That's
your
the race
full
that
everything.
scares me. Could you imagine?
That's what I mean. There's your big scary goal.
Yeah.
You're like, wait, Katie, have you been out to watch it ever?
Yeah, actually, Core Sports was a sponsor. It was 2014 or 2015, and they took Tommy and I out. So we've done the underwear run, and I just remember everybody being like, "Oh, you better like watch out. You'll catch like the Ironman bug or the Kona bug." And like I was still training. I forget what I was training for, but oh my gosh, I hated training there. I was like,
yeah.
I'm going to quit triathlon. Like this is not going to make me want to do it, because it's hard. Like it's hot, it's humid, it's
Yeah.
like the scenery is beautiful, but training wise, it's like just long.
Oh no, I am with you. I'm gonna say something now that's gonna get me like canceled again. But like I hate training in Hawaii, like in Kona. Oh my, like all of like Rinny I know loves it. Chelsea's like, oh, I step off the plane, I love it. I'm like, this is the worst thing. I hate riding on the Queen K. I hate running on Elite. I'm like, oh, it's awful.
Yeah, but you're out there and you're in like the elements and you're like thinking about the race, and this is where legends were made.
I
That's
mean,
true.
there's that too. Right. No, I have been. It was really. I'm glad that I got that experience to like be there. I think at the time, like I didn't know enough about triathlon to like appreciate the competitors, and I think it makes a big difference when you know the athletes racing on the course, or at least for me, like having that connection with people. And now I'm much more invested in Ironman, knowing some of the athletes who are racing, and having gotten to know more who have kind of like gone across from like short course to 70.3 to long course. But I guess you consider 70.3 long course.
Are you just rooting for all the short course athletes then? Are you just like, come on?
I mean, yeah, piece of me, but also like I like them just being intertwined now. Like I feel like that's new. Maybe I'm just too young. I'm too young to have seen this in like past years of Ironman. But I think the coolest part is now being able to really see short course athletes go to Ironman, and especially short course athletes that, I mean, I guess like this was your experience, Rinny, of like finding their spot in Ironman racing, and like seeing like a much more confident athlete like Lisa Perderer. I think Lisa and Solveig would be a good example, I feel like, for that, of just like Lisa has won like World Cups, and I think Solveig has too, but they were never consistently at the top end of the results list. And then seeing them race like in long course or in Ironman, and you're like, whoa, like this suits them. And with Lisa Perderer especially, just because of the like she's always been the hot weather specialist of like world triathlon racing. So yeah, to see how that goes to Kona will be interesting.
Regular listeners of Feisty Podcasts will not be surprised to learn that for decades, running shoes have been researched, tested, and designed for men. Brands have relied on the shrink it and pink it approach to sell male shoes to female customers. But women's feet differ from men's in numerous ways. We have increased toe splay, higher arches, a more narrow heel, a lower ankle bone, upward angled toenails, and a rounded instep that is smaller in circumference. And because of all those differences, that is why we need HEDAS. HEDAS has unlocked the science behind women's biomechanics through dedicated research and creates running shoes specifically designed for women. So that means a lower heel collar to reduce rubbing on women's ankle bones, plate design to provide heel stability and to decelerate foot impact, rounded instep creating a snug fit through the middle to match the curvature of a woman's foot. Every feature is designed to give you more power and less problems. Breathability that lets your feet breathe easily mile after mile, plus fast-drying tech that doesn't allow sweat to slow you down, adaptive stretch that molds to your foot like it was made just for you. I personally have been running in HEDAS for over 2 years, and from the first time I tried them, I knew that there was something different. They really felt like they were made for me. The shoes are super light but provide good cushioning, and they really support my very high arches. I honestly didn't think I would notice the difference after running for so many years in male model shoes, but I really did. So, try HEDAS for yourself today. Go to hedas.com and use the code STAYFEISTY for 20% off. That is Stay Feisty for 20% off at hedas.com. The link will, as always, be in the show notes.
If you've listened to this show for more than, a minute, you know that I am a huge proponent of strength training, especially lifting heavy for strength, power, and resilience as we go through midlife and menopause, when age and our hormones make all of that harder to hang on to. So I am super stoked that I am getting to be part of Feisty 40 Plus's Strong Retreat this November 14th through the 16th in Albuquerque, New Mexico. This retreat is designed specifically for women 40 and over, and it's 100% devoted to building a strong foundation that will support you for the rest of your life. Led by Feisty favorite strength coach Cassie Neiman and me, Celine, the retreat will give you all the fundamentals you need with hands-on coaching and small group feedback. You'll get tutorials on mobility and movement prep, learn how to do all the big lifts, and be privy to a special pelvic floor session, and actually just have a really great time bonding and learning with like-minded women. No egos, no competition, no body judgment, just solid strength training, real confidence, and a community of feisty women who lift heavy shit and lift each other up while they do it. Whether you're new to strength training or you're looking to fine-tune your form, investing in a weekend like this can really fast-track your progress, boost your confidence, and help you train smarter for years to come. Click that link in the show notes, come join me, and get strong this fall.
Hi, it's Kelly O'Mara.
And Sarah Gross, your other feisty friends.
And we host the newish, feisty podcast, The Feist, covering everything in women's sports that you need and want to know every week.
And the things you didn't know you wanted to know.
In one feisty hour, it's the only women's sports podcast covering all your favorite sports: cycling, running, CrossFit, rugby, the Olympics, the things that other podcasts don't cover.
And giving you the stories behind the scenes, of course.
And why should these feisty listeners listen to The Feist, Sarah?
Well, okay, Kelly, you know how women's sports in the last couple of years have reached this inflection point?
So I hear, yeah.
Yeah. So if you're, most people are kind of aware that women's sports are growing, especially on the side of basketball, soccer, and it's really hard. I really want to be able to keep up with that movement and what's happening and the things that are growing and the behind the scenes information and the business side and how the revenue's growing in different leagues. But I don't want to have to watch a ton of sports every week. Not that I don't love watching women's sports. But there's just a lot of it now, right? So
there are a lot of sports.
Yes.
Yeah.
So our podcast is a way to keep up on the movement of women's sports while you are able to still pick and choose the ones that you want to watch yourself. So that's why people should listen.
Because we watch them.
Because we
and
watch
tell
them
you
for you
about them.
Yes. And we're fun.
And about everything. And we're fun. And we're going to do all the research behind the scenes, tell you everything you need to know. Listen to The Feist every Wednesday, wherever you get your podcast. You can follow or subscribe to The Feist on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or YouTube. All right, there's 1,500 women racing. We have to remember that it's also obviously it is less this year. And I just feel I want to say it's not because women didn't take their spots. It's because that's how many spots there were this year. So there's 1,500 women. This is the last all women's one. We go back together next year with the men in one day. We'll be talking a lot more about that next week. I know like our audience is always asking about that because the new qualification system people have had a lot of questions about. And there is like early data out.
Whoa. That might be a shit show.
Yeah, it's not going the way it was expected. We shared kind of on our Instagram report from Women in Tri UK that is kind of like counted how many spots, and we will talk about that a lot more next week. It's all I just want to say. And then I also want to say, our whole Feisty schedule now. Everybody listening can come find the Feisty crew at the Kona Canoe Club, which is kind of on the backside of the shopping center, just past the Palace on Ali'i Drive. We'll be there 8 to 11 every morning with our pop-up, doing podcasts. We have a shakeout run with Rinny and Salty Bears on Wednesday morning at 6:45 a.m. We're going to have giveaways, and she's going to share tips so that you run fast, is what I was promised.
It's so easy.
So
And Kelly, are you going to go running? Because we know you don't like training on the island.
I hate training. I rented a bike, Joanne, just so that and then I secretly stalk all the pros' Strava so I can find the secret roads. That's what I do. So those are all things. We have a daily podcast. We have a daily newsletter. But here's my last question for you guys. So it was epically fast 2 years ago on the All Women's Day. We had the overall course record from Lucy, the run course record, and broke Rinny's like decade-old one.
Mm-hmm.
Daniela still has the bike course record from that crazy day back in 2018. Do we see these course records go down this year? Is it hard to say without knowing the weather?
I think, it depends on the weather, right? We're at the mercy of the weather. The weather's
I'll
good,
go with
then
yes.
I think,
You'll go with yes.
I think the run course record will come down again.
Yeah,
You think so?
Yeah.
Because it's 2:48 right now.
Yeah.
But even if you look at the times, so Lucy did an 8:24:31 to set the record, right? But Laura, Philipp, and I know the course is completely different. I know it's a different country, different climate, different course, but she did an 8:03:13. And Kat wasn't far off her behind her. I'm trying to see where it was. 8:05:13, thereabouts. So like that's 20 minutes faster. I know. And I know it's apples and oranges and it's Canyon and Quintalaroo and it's Hoka's and Skechers. It's completely off the wall different. But you have to think that like if they can do that, and it's not the first time that the world's best time for an Ironman course has dropped in the space of 6 months, with Kat setting it first in Texas. So what I would ask is, what are your predicted new overall course times? Let's not do swim, bike, run, because we might have time. But what do you think if, so Lucy did an 8:24:31 in 2023. What do we think they could be?
8:20.
Ooh. We're going to revisit this, Rinny. I'm going to write it down. So 8:20. Okay.
I agree with you. I also think that to podium it's going to take in the 8:20s this year. Like it used to, you know what I mean? I think you're going to have to be in the 8:20s.
Mm-hmm.
So we're 8:20. Okay, so we're like, you're giving me an 8:20.
Oh, no, I'm agreeing with Rinny. I think 8:20 could be the new course record. Yeah.
8:20. Yeah. Katie, with all of your new ITU debutantes, do you have anybody who you reckon is just going to race it like a sprint? Gun to tape?
No, I'm not picking anyone certain, but I'll go 1956.
1956.
And so now they all have to start manifesting that number.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
1956. Okay.
So we're going to put this out there into the world that it will be fast.
I'm gonna go 1830.
oh, come on.
Yeah.
So now I just become that random number in the middle.
No, you are the best of both worlds. Because if it's lower with the timings, because of the time I picked, but Kelly and Rinny, they're in trouble.
Yeah.
You got it. So Kelly's going to
It's going to be 8:20 and change.
It's going to be 20.
Change Z, and Rinny is changing her mind now.
Well, 8:20 and change. 8:20. So
Something.
I'll be like, we'll win because we'll get the first.
Because you'll be ambiguous.
Have you seen the pros now are all getting really into these wind prediction calculations? I don't know if you've seen this going around. There's like science. There's a science guy who does like pressure systems and like wind predictions, and they like makes a whole map. And they've gone a little deep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
Good.
for boredom.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is within the realm of you start looking too much at other stuff. Well, I mean, maybe not for. That's a long ride.
The wind. Yeah.
Before we finish up, Rinny, what are you most looking forward to for the week?
Mm-hmm.
Pokeballs, acai bowls, no, swimming in the ocean.
Yeah.
I saw dolphins last year, and I heard
Right.
Tamara said she saw them already this year.
Mm.
I don't swim anymore, so I'm going to bring my flippers, my fins, and I'm actually going to hop in and do like maybe to the coffee boat or something.
Is your
Alright.
whole crew coming?
No, I'm like solo, so I'm like leaving the kids with Tim for the first time ever. I've only left Winston for like ever, so
He'll be doing
That-
an Ironman of his own.
I'm still breastfeeding too. So I like have got to bring the pump,
Oh, yeah.
but we're not going to feed him any milk. He's fine. He's almost 2. He doesn't need it, but
Sure.
but the old boobs might explode if I don't.
You gotta like. What's the word? I'm making a gesture. but
Maybe I
it's a
should do the
podcast.
underpants run because my
Yeah.
boobs be looking.
Oh no, already. I am leaving our kid here too because I was just like I can't deal with that. So they'll figure it out. It'll be fine.
It was fine.
Tim's a smart guy. Tim and
Yeah.
Steve both went to Cal. They can figure this out. They're smart guys.
Not babysitting when they're looking after their own children.
Bingo.
No.
Not that.
Yeah,
So-
that'll be fine.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys, and we will see everybody. Well, not everybody, Katie. We won't see you. I know, but we'll see everybody else next week, and we will see all the listeners there too. We will include links to RSVP and everything for the Shakeout Run for the podcast.